What's the obsession with an organisation like Emily's List and the support that they're giving their politicians? What is the obsession with late-term abortion in particular, or the right to late-term abortion?
Yeah. So I think they think that any restriction on abortion is stigmatizing to abortion.
Sure.
So now, they now even force, the laws in our country even force doctors who don't want to be involved in this process, they have to refer to another doctor who will start that abortion. And in the WA law, which is the most recent bill, they talk about the refusing practitioner as if you're refusing healthcare, when actually you've got, your conscience is telling you that this is a procedure that kills a human being and you don't want to be involved in it. And I think Emily's List is so ideologically driven that abortion is always a good thing for women and so necessary for women's empowerment, that this is what they're pushed. Like this is the thing that they are pushing. And there's a lot of money in abortion. So, the reality is there's millions of dollars that we, the taxpayer, are giving to the abortion providers to perform abortions. Late-term abortions are really expensive, so there's a lot of money in that. Marie Stopes, Planned Parenthood, these are billion-dollar companies. They say they're not for profit, but I think about, well, what are the salaries that they're on? What are the assets that they have? What are the perks of being involved in this? And they give money to the political parties, obviously to Emily's List. And, Mia Freedman attacked me the other day. So she came out, I actually posted about baby Xantha, who'd been left alone in the Queensland hospital to die. And her comment was not, how tragic, thank you for exposing this. I'm going to use my platform to expose this too because I've got a bigger megaphone. Her comment was, genuine question, are you a medical doctor? I was like, you read my bio. You can Google me. My bio is very clear. I'm a professor of law, done a PhD at Oxford. I'm not talking about this from a medical perspective. I'm talking about this from a human rights perspective. But what she was doing was just a little bit of gatekeeping to try and kind of shame me and shut me down and sort of let me know that she's onto me until, she's probably preparing a hit piece as we speak, Tyson. And so I just feel like we've sort of taken the humanity out of this debate, and the media doesn't report it either. So this Senate inquiry that we've had into this issue of babies born alive, they haven't reported it. No one, Sky's touched it, but none of the mainstream media outlets have touched it. And just yesterday, unfortunately, the Senate committee, even though they heard all this evidence, and the lead senator, Marielle Smith, she was following me on Instagram after I gave my evidence. I'm just devastated to have read the final report, which basically covers up the whole issue. It's just filled with quotes from abortion providers and abortion proponents saying, oh, babies aren't left to die. It's not a real issue. If they are born alive, they get palliative care. Why is this different to open heart surgery? We don't mandate a right to palliative care and open heart surgery. But in open heart surgery, you're not trying to kill the patient and they've unexpectedly been born alive. An abortion, the child's been born alive unexpectedly. And so there does need to be a legal right to care, because the very people who are there with them at the moments of birth when they're born are the people who tried to kill them. So you do actually need a legal right to care. And it's very different to other sort of medical procedures where we're trying to save the patient or ease their pain. So I was just devastated to see that, because it just shows the extent of willful ignorance and blindness by the political class. Like, if they can cover up the issue of babies born alive after failed abortion, something that I would say 99% of Australians would be aghast at, that just shows you the power that the abortion lobby has over them. And it just shows you how difficult my task is to draw attention to this.
It's fascinating to me how many factors come into a decision that politicians or just the general public are making, but with particular reference to politicians and examples like the organisation Emily's List that you mentioned. I didn't know about them. I didn't know about how much support they offered certain politicians or support, or how many guidelines they offered certain politicians to have around their beliefs on this. There's so many things. I'm just trying to formulate my thoughts a little bit. I'm mind blown at how many credible people are quickly made to look ridiculous based on going against a mainstream story. So there's so many facts.
Could I give you an example?
So, please.
Yeah. So just even this week, Tyson, so I've never, ever made the argument against abortion on the basis of religion, because we live in a secular state. There's a separation of church and state. I don't argue for justice for migrant workers on the basis of religion, and I wouldn't do that on the case of abortion. In my view, abortion kills a human being, particularly late-term abortion kills gestationally viable babies who could be born alive. It also leaves babies to die because of unintended consequences. You don't need religion to tell you that's wrong. And yet this week, I've had a number of trolls set up fake accounts with me, and they've photoshopped me with like a Bible and a cross and like religious garb. I think in one I'm a female priest. Like that's just religious persecution, and it's also just they're trying to go after me for something that I've never even said or done, and that shows you the quality of the debate. They can't go after the substantive arguments, so they're going after me personally. But going after religion is like going after the color of my skin or my gender. Like it's a protected attribute under discrimination law, and so that to me is just so concerning that that's how they win.